really great shows, so I was kind of stuck for what to talk about this time around. But in the end, I settled on a horror anime called Another. Over a little bit by picking this particular show because the title makes it just so hard to search for. But I really liked it and I wanted to talk about it, so we'll see what happens. Now, the horror anime genre is not one that I watch a lot of, so I'm going to start off by addressing the fact that a lot of reviewers at the time it started airing were just kind of meh about it. A lot of horror buffs said that the show was very cliche and was just more of what horror fans have already seen plenty of. And yes, I get it. Oh, you're a newcomer to this town? Let me guess, there's a mysterious secret that your new classmates are in on but won't talk about. And let's throw in some atmospheric shots of creepy dolls. Are there ghosts? I bet there's ghosts. But honestly, I feel that this series really works well despite a lot of its elements being known tropes of the genre. And more especially to those of us that don't watch a lot of horror, and so aren't quite so desensitized to the genre's atmospheric choices. Yes, a lot of those scenes can feel very creepy and unsettling. Now, as I said, I'm not usually a big fan of the horror genre, mostly because I don't really enjoy being scared. And especially live-action horror films are freaking terrifying! But horror anime isn't usually scary so much as it is just kinda creepy. And my brain can differentiate reality from fiction much more easily when fiction is animated and doesn't look so very much like reality. The only anime series that really actually scared me all that much was When They Cry, which is one of my favorite shows of all time, by the way. Horror animes are less horror than they are supernatural mystery stories, which is what makes them very interesting, and which is why I can actually stomach them as opposed to live-action horror. So Another is about a young boy who moves to a new town and finds that anybody in his new class at school are a little strange and seem to be hiding a dark, hidden class secret that nobody will talk about but everybody hints about. There's an odd-looking girl in his class who nobody seems to see or notice, and he tries to find out why, despite everybody obviously wishing that he wouldn't. Okay, well, that's a fairly typical setup. But do they do it well enough to form a story that consistently reels you in and keeps you guessing? In my case, at least, yes. This show's mystery works very well. But the show really starts getting interesting when things kick into high gear and people start dying. This is, remember, a horror show, so the question isn't so much who's going to die as it is who is going to survive. And once the Final Destination-style deaths start taking place, the pace of the show really picks up, and solving the mystery becomes much more urgent. There are some very well-placed plot twists that I didn't see coming, and on the whole, the atmosphere worked for me and made it an intriguing mystery with some creepy tonal qualities. The art style is very nice, and I quite enjoy the character designs too. And if you like a good blood fest, this is full of graphic death scenes. But if you're not so much into the blood and guts part of it, they are at least infrequent enough that they don't detract from the real meat of the show, which is the mystery. All bets are off, though, in the final 2 episodes. Good lord. It does, however, depend on how delicate your sensibilities are, and this might make some viewers quite squeamish. And I really wouldn't recommend horror shows to any younger audiences. Now, the show is not perfect, and the characters are kind of bland and forgettable. But it doesn't really focus on characters so much as the circumstances that they find themselves in and the unraveling of the mystery. And that, I think, is more than enough to pull the story along. The only real big problem with the show is how in the beginning, nobody will tell the antagonist anything. They're all pretty clear that there is a problem that he is doing by trying to communicate with this girl who none of them can see, but nobody explains to him why. And I get that this is a plot device to keep the audience as much in the dark as to what's going on as the characters, but honestly, this just doesn't make sense. But of course, I might be asking for too much realism from my ghost stories, so we'll let it slide. At 12 episodes, this is an easy show to get through, and I personally really enjoyed the ride. Well, thanks for watching my video this week. I would love it if you would like, comment, or subscribe. That would just make my day, and you can join me on Facebook or Twitter as well. I've got a lot of other titles that I really want to talk about, so I'll see you guys next week. Bye!